Thank you. Hello everyone, I'm Matthew Morgan and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at online health and fitness program 28 by Sam Wood. I'll come to him in a second. I'll give you just a sort of a brief background on me. I did 15 years at Y&R Brands, working around the world. I held roles both strategic and creative. I started as a copywriter. And I worked on brands in automotive and consumer and fashion and those kind of things. And then I met Sam. I'm going to talk about him and his background. I'm going to talk about our journey with 28. And I'm really excited to tell you about it because we're doing some really cool stuff and we are fundamentally helping people live better lives. And if nothing else, for my soul, it's kind of exciting for me because I've gone from 15 years of selling people Coca-Cola and I'm now actually helping them live a healthier lifestyle.
I just feel bad.
Now I try to lead by example, and these here are my two kids, and they frequently ask me why I don't look like Sam, because I get out and I go running and I try and do some of the program and what have you, and I remind them that our core philosophy at 28 is progress, not perfection, and clearly I'm the first half of that. What I want to do, for those of you who are not familiar with Sam, for those of you not familiar with 28 by Sam Wood, I'm going to play a quick video from Sam. He's going to explain to you what we're all about.
G'day guys, welcome to 28 by me, Sam Wood. My program has changed the lives of over 100,000 people, all from the comfort of their own home, and now I can't wait to work with you too.
We've called in the big guns, two of them in particular. They belong to Sam Wood. Celebrity trainer Sam Wood, fitness guru Sam Wood is here with some helpful tips for staying in shape this winter. Sam, good morning.
Good morning, thank you for having me. So when you join me, this is what you get. You'll get a new workout with me every day. I've been doing this for 17 years and I know what gets fast results. With a different level to suit every body, you can work out anytime, anywhere, with little or no equipment. It's just 28 minutes a day. You'll get delicious recipes that are quick and easy with a new eating plan every week, covering everything, breakfast, lunch, dinner and snacks, all designed by my nutrition team. And you'll get the support you need every step of the way to achieve your goals. 28 provides you real-time motivation and education day and night. It is this support that will ensure you get the results you want. At 28, we're not a community, we are family. So now is the time to make that change. My amazing crew and I are here for you every step of the way. So what are you waiting for? Let's do this.
Okay, so some of you might have been watching that video. Hopefully that explains kind of what we do, and thinking that guy sort of looks familiar. How do I know him? And how you know him is from The Bachelor. So Sam was on a reality TV show, The Bachelor, second season. And that really, from a marketeer's point of view, when you start thinking about building a program, it is kind of an interesting challenge, right? How do we take somebody who's in the public consciousness as Sam the Bachelor and put him to be Sam the friendly personal trainer, fitness guy, and moreover, Sam the friendly personal trainer guy who has a program that you want to buy. And that really, the way in which we've done that is to have one single objective, and that single objective is to drive credibility. So everything we do is about telling the story of Sam's background. Now Sam has been a personal trainer for 17 years. He owns the largest personal training studio in Australia, the Woodshed, down in Bayside. And also, prior to that, he ran and owned a franchise, a chain of kids fitness gyms called Gecko Gyms. The reality is, in Australia, he's probably one of the most qualified people to help people move. And we've had to really bring that to the top, because it's very easy for people to just go, oh, it's that guy from the Bachelor. Now he's good, but he understands that being healthy and living a healthy life requires more than just movement. It's about how you eat, it's what you eat, it's your mindset, it's the motivation you have to be healthy, and the motivation to change behaviours that you may have had over time. He's great at movement, we've covered that, but he's not a nutritionist and he's not a psychologist. So we've brought in experts within our sort of group of 28 who also provide content to our 28ers. But again, it's allowing us to tell a very credible story so that I understand what I'm buying and why it costs what it costs. So what do we sell? We sell content. It's interesting hearing Graham say lots of people struggle with delivering content. We do not have that problem. We are a content production machine. The reality is that getting healthy is a personal choice, right? It's a personal journey. It's a very personal journey to many. And in order to be successful as a personal trainer, you develop this sort of one-to-one relationship with someone. You understand what their needs and their motivations are, and you work with them to then achieve the goals that they set for themselves. What Sam had identified was that we could use technology to create that experience without having to physically be in the room. The way we do that is brilliant content, and I'll play just an example of what that content looks like right here.
G'day guys, for today's Sam 7, we're doing the ultimate beach bodyweight workout.
So like I said, we're a content production machine. We've got in-house a couple of videographers, we've got graphic designers, we've got editors, we've got editing suites, we've got a green room for shooting stuff that we need to remove backgrounds from. We are pumping out content every day, day in, day out. Blog posts, articles to media, interviews. Sam's in Sydney right now, I hope, doing something with media that should be on TV tomorrow. We sell content, that's what we sell. And in order for us to be successful, in order for us to have been successful, it's really good content that is what's driving our business. And it's working. We've had 140,000 people through the program so far. We founded 2.5 years ago. We've got 1 million active social followers. I'm not interested in likes on pages or any of that kind of stuff. I'm only interested in people who are actively engaged with us on social media, and that's actively engaged at least once a month. We've got 1 million of those. We've got open rates on emails north of 90%. That's 90, not 19. And we have a Facebook closed community of about 40,000 people who are actively engaged with one another and helping everybody on the journey. In fact, they are so good that our customer service team, who we call the crew, are now finding it hard to get to the question. So we have a response time from our community that's now in a matter of seconds. Today's menu lunch item has eggplant in it. I don't like eggplant, what can I replace it with? That will be answered in about 5 to 10 seconds, and our poor crew, they just haven't got time to get to it. it's a really good indication that we've got a very, very highly engaged audience, and we have that highly engaged audience because what we do for them day in, day out is provide great content. I'll talk a little bit about our demographic as well. So when Sam came off The Bachelor, he got approached by a lot of people. Hey, what do you do to work out? How do I live a better life? What are all the things you can? And in his mind, he was thinking I could build this kind of program. But he was thinking he could build it for lots of people. Today, about 90% of our audience are mums with kids at home. So it's 30 to 45-year-old women with kids at home. And the reality is, it's kind of, we never set out to build a program for them, but that's who we now build a program for, because we understand that they're the people this resonates best with. You're talking about people who generally put the rest of the family first, they don't have much time, a lot have body confidence issues post having kids, and the concept of working out at home and getting fit is a good one for them, but the way in which we help them succeed is through killer content. Now I'm going to say something probably a little bit more controversial and surprising, and that is I want to talk about how we've scaled this business so quickly, and like everybody, you know, we like to think we're data driven. And the reality is there are lots of tools out there that promise you lots of insights, and we get bamboozled with all this stuff that gets sent to us. We can measure this, help you understand cut through and engagement and all these other things. And it can be really, really confusing. And actually, if I just sat down and added up what my Facebook ad report tells me and my Google search reports tell me and what stuff off Zendesk tells, if I added all those things together, my business would be 150% of what it actually is. The reality is, what's in the bank at the end of the day is really our only success metric, right? And so what we've done, or what I've now started to do, is I've just gone back to Excel, because it's just really easy for me to understand and use. And as long as I maintain discipline about it, it's my own work, and it's not other things giving me a point of view. And what I do, I'll talk about it briefly, I'm happy to answer questions on it too. I take the hard metrics, so that is people who joined each day, people who left or unsubscribed from the program each day, total ad spend across the various channels, I know exactly what that number is, and then total number of visitors to the site. And then what I do is I take all these reports from all the other systems that we use, and I add them to that Excel chart, but I don't add them as a value, I add them as an index, and I index based on daily, monthly, and yearly historicals. What that allows us to do is properly understand, removing seasonality and time of day and all that kind of stuff out, which piece is working. And that's important for us because we move really, really quickly, and I've got a content engine I can switch on and get to change stuff really quickly if I want to. But because we run Monday to Monday, each program starts on a Monday, if I ran an ad on a Monday, and I relied on the value, that ad would look much more successful than the ad I ran on Thursday. But on Thursday, that ad might actually be more effective, just because it's running at a different point in time. And what I've found is that tried and tested Excel is just a great way for us to do that today. Obviously, we're here for Marketo, so let me talk a little bit about what we're doing with Marketo. There's something really interesting when you start a business today, I think, is that there are lots of tools out there, and there's some very affordable tools out there to get you going. And but you've got to be really careful you don't become completely addicted to those tools, because it will really minimize how you scale, or really jeopardize your ability to scale. So we started out with MailChimp. And we were using MailChimp to send links to videos on Vimeo, hosting all our videos on Vimeo, using MailChimp to send people to those videos. And that was fine. Manually processed between 5 or 6 of us, totally manageable when we went from 0 to 5,000 members. That's fine. When we hit about 5,000, it was just getting very laborious because we've got people who come in and say, I'm a vegetarian. Right? Well, we've got to send them a different video with a different email with a different set of links to the vegetarian recipes for the day. So I like to think, grew up and adopted ActiveCampaign. And ActiveCampaign was great until we hit 100,000 people. And we just really started to max out the power of that system, because as we grew, everything else was getting much more sophisticated, in particular our content, and the need for dynamic delivery of content was becoming really important, because we have all these different diverse people with all these different needs requiring this one-to-one relationship, and that system simply wasn't doing it for us, or we just outgrown it. October last year, I went for a tender process. I looked at everything that was out in the world in terms of CRM and marketing automation, and happily Marketo is where we landed. It's a huge investment for us. I can't understate it. When we spend a lot of money on Facebook and Instagram, that's a bigger investment for us. But we can all kind of see that. We pay the money and the ads are up there and the people come in the door and happy days. Marketo is a huge investment for a small business like ours. And so I'm really keen to squeeze every drop out of the orange I possibly can from day one. And the way in which we've kind of done that is twofold. There are kind of two parts to it. The first one is, and if the team were here, they'd all be rolling their eyes at me at the moment, is the first one is having this sort of clinical cleanliness, which I call to our system, right? So again, I won't talk through it in full detail, but there are 6 different types of communications that we run. Inside those 6 folders, we have campaigns, and inside every campaign folder, there are only 3 folders: reports, resources, and rules. I have a resource, a center of excellence, where everybody knows where the stuff is. We've got videos on what we do and what we don't do. And that discipline just allows us all as a team to move really efficiently. So if Claire, who runs our partnership communications, she's able to go in and send stuff out without interrupting the PR team, who maybe are sending something to every 28er who lives in Sydney, because Sam's going to be there today. It allows us to move quickly without me being the bottleneck. And then I can spend my time really then understanding how this is working and what it's doing for our business. And I guess that's kind of the other point. I'll second what Kevin said. I built this. I was really keen to do it myself, and it's really counterintuitive. You know, when you get to a level or an age or whatever you want to say, you want to delegate stuff, right? That's the way to work is to delegate, get other people to do it. If I'd done that, I would not understand how this works, and I wouldn't understand scoring, and therefore we probably wouldn't use it. It's a fundamental part of how Marketo works for us. I'm sure I have something else to say on this, but what it is, I don't know. So what I'll do is I'll just talk about the success that's had. Here are some of our beautiful 28ers sharing their before and afters. We have a very highly engaged audience, and they're highly engaged because we give them what they want when they want it. And Marketo, along with our understanding of our systems, what we spend and how we play, gives us that. And another sort of proof point to this, we have only just recently switched on Net Promoter Score surveys to our membership base. We've been running them for about 3 months right now, and we're at 75. So it's out of control love for what we give people. We have people who've been on the program from day one and stay on it constantly. But what we generally see is people who come in, we always think about them as micro resolutions. Got a holiday coming up, I want to look good in my swimsuit. So they come into the program and they'll do it for sort of 3 or 4 months, and then they'll go away. 6, 7 months later, we'll see them back again because they've got a new resolution, got a wedding coming up, whatever it might be. And the ability to use tools like Marketo to keep those people engaged, understand that they're not going to buy from us today, but we need to keep top of mind with them, is really important, because this is a massively expanding, highly competitive space that we live in. So I think that's probably it for me. If that's good. I guess I'll leave you with this, and that is there are two things that really excite me about this business. One is helping people genuinely live a better life, which, as I said, is great for the soul. But as a marketeer, I really start to think that technology today is allowing this sort of new world of marketing, where we're taking we're taking a product created by a person and building a brand, as opposed to kind of the old school ways, which were brands that had products that used personal endorsement. And for any of you who spend a lot of time in the sort of social media world, I think that's a really interesting thing we're starting to see change. So traditionally, social media influencers and what have you were being asked to endorse a product or a brand. And Sam, I think, is a great example of somebody who's just building his own brand and selling it directly. So with that, I've got one video from Sam for us all.
G'day guys, Sam Wood here. I just wanted to reach out and say g'day to everyone at the Marketo Customer Engagement Forum. That's a bit of a tongue twister, that one. I hope you've all had a fantastic day listening to Matt Morgan. He really is an absolute gun in this space and has revolutionised my business. Now it's time to really put him to the test and throw some questions at him. The curvier, the better. Anything data-wise, he really loves that kind of space, so really get into the nitty-gritty, nerdy stuff with him. Hope you've all had a great day. See you soon.
That's awesome.
And I think we're doing panel, right?
Yeah.